Alrighty, welcome back to game three. I am at Jack Pearl. Alongside me, I have Adder Luna. How have you been, Adder Luna?
Pretty good. That was a very intense game too. A bit longer than game one, but it still ended up being pretty one-sided.
Yeah, game two. It's making me kind of losing my voice here, but the game must go on, and it's an interesting series so far. As for seven men, we already see that Ezra is gonna be coming out as a ban. Oh, what's your take on this so far?
It's interesting because so far it's been banned every game, and Ezreal is one of the few champions that did receive a nerf. Again, it's not a very substantial nerf. It's just an addition of 3 seconds to his E, the arcane shift. So I don't know. According to Riot, it was more targeted at pro play, but I mean, any kind of nerf is still technically a nerf. So
True, yeah, just Ezreal, just that cooldown is mostly aimed for professional players, and they're kind of abusing it right now. It's just Ezreal is quite so strong, so I can see why some men would want to ban it alongside with Ari just going against it last time around.
I see, and it seems like we do have a. It's going to be a roster swap for VGR with Microthorn in the top lane and Vixen mid. And I guess we also are going to be having a remake for the Pro Draft because VGR doesn't have the link yet. So, rip.
Very interesting. So, this could be a couple of seconds. Um, But yeah, let's quickly go over VGR's roster swap. Just interesting to see that he'll slew what is gonna be in the mid lane instead of the traditional their main mid laner. But I'm not gonna be complaining as we do see the roster swap coming out for mid lane. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see, say at least. And instead of what was their top lane again? Well, whoever it was, it is going to be
Microthorn is going to be coming in this game.
yeah. So yeah, Microthorn. He's gonna be coming in, gonna be changing the gameplay or style. Gonna be or hopefully they're gonna be changing game. I mean the style they're gonna be playing, and hopefully Microthorn is gonna be bringing in one hell of a performance this time around.
Um, Maybe it is interesting because he is taking Shapiro's place, and Shapiro had a very impressive showing on the cart this last game.
Right. But it's not a bad thing if they are gonna be swapping around just to be, um, if it's just gonna be like a relief sub, at least just letting Shapiro sit one a game out, and then just bring him back in just to dominate one more time. I would not be surprised because he's been playing very well, at least, and it just seems that they're just already gonna go back to Ari, and I'm not sure if that's gonna be a ban or what.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm not sure what that ban is for VGR. I like the Ornn ban because Ornn is just an all-around good champion. Uh, you don't have to worry about Ornn items in the late game. You don't have to worry about the Ornn horn, how tanky he is. So
Yeah, or even if you're not playing Ornn at all, just in being in the same lane is gonna be quite devastating.
right, and it appears that the first ban for VGR is a buy ban. They're definitely sticking to keeping that Vi out of T-Min's hands.
And yeah, that totally makes sense because they're trying to get rid of that early game presence. Now, I just want to see if they are gonna go for a Hecarim ban here because we saw his last game. Hecarim is just so dominant, and they don't. So possibly they may be picking it up here for Team In.
That's some scary implications there. Oh,
Yeah,
there it is. The
yeah, that
insta-lock.
yeah, not even a chance of getting or a VGR just trying to get it. And as we see now, they are gonna pick Darius, so they're not gonna be quite playing the same run at top of bruisers. Instead, we're gonna see a juggernaut instead, alongside with Echo, which
Right.
yeah, they played in game one. Yeah, they played very well with an Echo, but I wanted to see if this Echo is going to be able to do more than just keeping Galio in check.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm a collie. All right, that's. I'm not sure if we've seen Alpals on a collie that often this season, if at all. So I'm
right,
interested to see how it's going to be. I feel like she does fit his playstyle. He does, for example, he likes to play that Echo. But since VGR did take the Echo away from him, I'm interested to see how well his Akali will play. And then a Noxus, that could be scary.
right. Just Echo and Akali, they play decently well into each other. It's just really, really nice because it's they really just don't like hard win in the matchup at all. And we're actually going to be seeing the stacking god from coming out from NASA's. Very, very interesting.
And I actually really like the Nasus pickup just because it is a late game option. So whereas while Hecarim excels in the mid game, if for some reason the Hecarim can't make it through like the past two games and get that early pressure that he needs, you can fall back onto the Noxus if he is playing well. Now, that being said, the faster you can get him stacking, the better. Much like the game comp from game one, where seven men had the Kale and the Hecarim. So I imagine that we'll see Teeman just focusing that top lane again, trying to put as much pressure to leave top lane sucks alone with the wave so he can get those stacks.
Right, and just also just the matchup between Nasus and Darius is gonna be quite hard for Nasus to stack at all. Just he's basically gonna get bullied early on unless he gets aggressive early game, which is, as we all know, it's not gonna end all too well. To run out the last part of the ban, it's for 7 men it's gonna be Thresh, Blitzcrank, and for VGR it's gonna be Ashe and Swain. And we're gonna see the bull coming through for VGR.
So that's an interesting pickup. Alcer is one of the champions that did get a nice little buff. He got a cooldown reduction on his Q. I believe it is 2 seconds at all ranks. So he can slam the ground a lot quicker, a lot more often.
Right, yeah, and this could be devastating at all. Just Alistar has the playmaking potential, just and able to find people out. Just they could knock him back into their own team. But however, we see a Tristana, so even if that headbutt does go through, Tristana has a chance of buffering it and escaping, especially with the pike there.
Right, which an interesting thing to note about the Pike is while he did receive nerfs to being a mid laner, I feel like he essentially gained more in buffs for being a support player because the base damage on his Q has gone up at all ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his Q cooldown early is lower and eventually tapers off to still being 8 seconds at max rank. And it's also a lower mana cost early, so he's able to toss out more Qs. And then on his E, there's also a small buff to his base damage as well. That being said, he does take hits to his magic resistance growth and his armor growth. So if he does get caught out, he's going to take a lot more punishment than before.
Yeah, just Pike in general, it's just gonna be uh, quite devastating as we see um, just Pike in general. It's just really devastating as a solo lane or a support. Regardless of what happens, he's still really strong, and he's able to pick up a lot of kills, which has spread the gold evenly and brings his entire team even closer to a power spike. But for VGR, they have the Alistar, they have the Lucian, so it's gonna be interesting to see how these two bot lanes will fight each other because we have an aggressive support, an aggressive ADC for 7 men, but for VGR, they have that disengage that stops it all, and they have Lucian that has a variety of builds that just can do a lot of different things.
Right, which I feel the interesting thing is while 7 men, they only have one potential real tank in the Noxus.
Mm.
With how their build is, they don't necessarily need tanks because Hecarim can get out himself. Akali can escape on her own. Pike can get out. Tristana can get out. They all have escapes to where they're not necessarily as worried, and they're going to be able to dodge stuff like the Darius hooks. They're going to be able to dodge the snares and the slows from Lux. They can dodge the situational stun from Echo, or the slow, rather, I think it is.
Right, yeah, and that's the thing with 7 men though, because with on the dodging that they can do, it comes at a price. If they do it way too often, they're gonna lose a lot of their mana and energy, as we see with the Alistar, Lux, and Echo. It really doesn't affect them all too much because they're the one that's dishing out all the stuns, while Tristana jump costs like 80 mana just to get out. Pike roll is like around 70 mana, and for Akali, that early game 30 stamina or energy is gonna hurt so much as she uses it mainly for combos and outplaying potential.
Right. So, whereas ideally they won't need to use it for escapes, it is nice to be able to have that option. And I feel like once we get to mid late game where resources aren't as big of a deal, it will be more beneficial to them.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. With all of that, keeping in mind, just is it possible or a possibility that we may see a hybrid carry Akali instead of let's say Nasus and Tristana? That's certainly the thing that's gonna be have to be answered as time goes on. And for on the red side, it's gonna be saying, will Lucian be relevant in late game? Will Lux be able to one shot the crucial targets, and will Echo eliminate the targeted picks and the ones they need to? And if
Another
yeah,
another big toss up is if the Darius does get ahead, Darius can get to where he's a monster in his own right. You might not be able to even damage him while he's just dishing out a ton of damage himself.
yeah, that is a possibility because we may or may not see the Microthorn carry it that everyone's been talking about. And if that does happen, it's gonna certainly be a treat as we see before in the past. Do we have anything else that we need to talk about before we head into intermission?
Um, no, I'm just I'm curious to see if the Hecarim is still going to play as much of a role in this game as it has in the past two games,
Mm,
or if it's somehow going to just kind of fall down on the wayside.
right, and with that being said, we are gonna be heading into intermission. So we will see you guys after the spectator delay is over. And until then,
stay tuned.
Alright, and we are in game, folks. I'm not sure exactly if they're going to go for just a standard 5-man. They might, but we will see. And I'm Outer Luna, and Poro's around somewhere, but
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
there he
just
is.
Yeah, I'm just worried if you guys are gonna see or hear something in the background because we do have some unexpected guests over, so they may or may not be allowed. But the show must go on.
Indeed. And it does look like we're just getting a standard 5-man. So, nothing too fancy. Again, the team's just being super respectful of each other. Not going to try to give out anything early just because, oh, wait a minute, hold on. That's an early flash. That could be huge.
That is certainly something. I mean, that's something that you get when you have a Pike on your team. It's just wow, wow, wow.
This demon's gone.
Oh,
So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see if Demon's going to put out as much pressure as he has this game, like he did game 1 with the Heck Room. Although, interestingly enough, it looks like he's starting at his blue this time instead of at his red. So maybe he's thinking about going for an early gank bot side.
If maybe, but it looks like he's doing vertically jungling, so he's gonna try to take noise out of the game as fast as possible, and just this in general, he's gonna be looking for a double buff, and that's severely gonna make noise behind, regardless of what they do. But in the meantime, reducing noise, trying to path up top side, as this bot lane just kind of impossible for him to gank at all. Just it's really volatile of a lane, and Teeman sneaks it right before he finds out of who's there.
And it's actually a little interesting that Teeman didn't decide to just go ahead and go all in on Noise there, because he already took Noise's red buff, and Noise doesn't have flash right now because he had to burn it early. So I mean that could have been a very early kill for Teeman.
True, but it's still, you still need a lot of things to kill a champion this early on. So just that in general, we're just gonna see just Noise and Teeman just go back to back and see how they will fight each other. As for Alpala's, he's getting quite a bit of trades, and he's playing it also well right now at least. And he's really not just letting anything go for free.
That was a very beautiful hook from the Ascendant.
And here comes a Hackam that's gonna be kicking and pushing Heal Slew What out of it, and being forced to use both Barrier and Flash. But Teeman is a little low for his likings, at least.
Right. I'm not necessarily sure if she needed to pop the barrier there, but better safe than sorry. And she did put out a lot of damage. So I wonder how much that's going to hurt Teeman's his farming patterns right now.
Yeah, it's just with all this, it's really interesting to see, because we see Teeman go from blue to red, but he doesn't do any of the sub monster camps in his blue side jungle, and he opts to go straight for Raptors, which is really, really interesting, as you know that Noise would be going to his Raptors, but now he basically just, since he went for Raptors, Noise is just able to take both Grump and Wolves. However, we do see a flash coming through, and Micro Thorning becoming lower and lower, and then he's not going to be able to get the heal. The flash can be forced to go through, come out, and just unfortunately, this seems it's going to be a first blood for one of them. However, if Noise has anything to say about this, it's actually going to be Micro Thorn getting the plus 400 for himself.
Yeah, very good answer by Noise coming in with that counter gank. That I feel like was just a little bit of a miscommunication, because top lane sucks. He was low on mana, so he had to burn flash to try to get damage in.
Oh, this pike roam. Ooh, it's just not getting us, not a lot, but it's such good pike roam. It's just, if Lux had flash there, that definitely would have been a flash to force her out.
Yeah, and top lane sucks. You gotta be really careful right now, because he's extremely low. Just barely getting the recall, because it looked like Microphone was gonna go straight for that dive, and he is 6 already.
Yeah, just unfortunately for top lane sucks though, he doesn't have the 6. However, in the bot lane we see the stun coming through, and now it's gonna be quite a fiesta down in bot lane. That's gonna be both flash and heal coming out for Mookstar. However, Teeman is gonna be trying to get something onto JD, but it's not gonna be doing all too much. He's gonna be trying to dance this one away, but it's not gonna be doing too much, and it's gonna be forced to use the health pot before he runs away.
Yeah.
That's gonna be quite something. That's gonna be a stun after the headbutt, and now that's gonna be possibly JD gonna go down. No, he won't. Noise now joins the fray, and that's gonna be 2 for 0. And now if Ascendant can do anything to get away, no, he won. That's gonna be a double kill for Drizzle.
Yeah, and that's just a straight 3-0 for VGR. And at this point, you just gotta be like, has Echo's time in the spotlight finally fallen? Is it Echo's time to shine? Because right now, Noise is straight killing it.
Yeah, it's just... It's certainly seeming that way right now. It's just really, really hard for him to do anything at all.
Because, like, Teeman's ganks right now, like, they're spot on. Like, they're really good ganks. But at the same time, he's also ganking when, you know, his allies are low on resources.
Oh, Alpala's getting way too greedy. It's just fortunately that Drizzle doesn't have mana, and that Alistar can't really do anything. He doesn't have flash, he doesn't have anything, and just it's just tragic right now.
I mean, it definitely might have seemed greedy by Alpals, but he did force Drizzle to pop the heal, which did save the heal's life.
As we pretty much see here, it's just gonna be really difficult for Alpals to get any sort of kill off at least. And for Heal Slew White, it's gonna be pretty easy for her just to abuse this Akali, even though she's not getting any minions.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's definitely playing out to be a very interesting game. Right, because right now, VGR, they're clearly in driver's seat. They have about a 2.5 to 2.3 gold lead, roughly. So I'm interested to see what 7 men are gonna try to pull out of their hat to get back into this game.
Yeah, that's if they do pull it out of this deficit right now, and just they're playing so well. They really changed a lot, and from coming from playstyle and everything else, just this change did so much for them, and just fortunately they were able to do a lot of surprising this time around just by roster changes. And that's gonna be a dodge coming from Drizzle. However, Noise is W, but it's not gonna be quick enough to do anything. And now Alpal is gonna be going on Heal Slew What. Just gonna be getting a lot of damage onto Heal Slew What. Just Alpal is just not respecting Drizzle, Noise, and GD coming up from bot lane. And now top lane sucks. It's gonna be forced to run away. But Microthorn is feeling so confident right now.
Yeah, I'm really concerned by how that went, because I feel like there wasn't any communication from 7 men that the bot lane was growing up.
This could be really bad. JD just being very low. That's gonna be a stopwatch for him. And there isn't really much that you could do. You should have just let himself die instead of wasting time.
And that kill going over to Mookstar is really huge, because at this point, if anyone's getting kills, you definitely want it on the Tristana. Because Tristana, she can hit 2 items and turn into a hyper carry real quick.
Right, it's just... That's just Tristana. It's just she excels at just pushing a lead that's just like 1 kill, and possibly for that 1 kill, not gonna be as quite as strong as Lucian with those 3 kills, but it is still possible to see her be as strong as Lucian, just a little weaker.
Right, because while Lucian does have the benefit of getting those extra attacks and due to his passive, Tristana, she does just have a straight attack damage or attack speed steroid in her kit, on top of the fact that her passive eventually makes her outrange Lucian in auto attacks to where he might not even be able to get in to even hit her.
Right, yeah. Just Tristana in general, just over the years, always been better than Lucian. Just Lucian, you have to play the champion very, very well. It's like clean and concise as possible. That's not gonna be quite the damage that he was looking for. Opaz needs to use perfect execution just to dodge, and now Team Min. He's gonna be trying against this, but fortunately he has flash and he's able to run away. Just unfortunately for him, it's not gonna be doing all too much. Now Tristana is in the fray this time around, and that's gonna be pushing him to Lux, and now top lane, that's gonna be a dirty first tower and an even dirtier fight. And now top lane sucks. I'm not sure how much he can do. That's gonna be a missed dunk from coming out from Ascendant, and that's gonna be a double dunk. But however, that's gonna be a double kill for Noise.
And again, Noise just getting all the answers right now. I'm just like, I'm very shocked with how that fight went. Because it, for a second, it seemed like it was going to go the way of 7 men. But you gotta respect the dunk. Never count it out.
Yeah, you're surprised. I'm the one that's losing my voice, but damn, I'll be damned because Microthorn's playing this extremely well, and Mookstar. Oh, that was so close, and that's gonna be a plus 350 for Tristana, and she's gonna live, unfortunately.
Yeah, just barely being able to get out of that. He'll definitely come in and clutch and saving her skin there.
Yeah, for sure. And that is so upsetting for Microthorn because he played the fight at top lane so well. If he only had his ult reset from those 2 kills, it would have been over for Mookstar right there. Now Pass has a chance of getting this kill, and the barrier is going to be a little bit too much for her, but the Ignite is going to be coming through, and he trades 1 for 1, but Noise is now going to be 4-0-4, and the bot lane Ascent is just barely going to miss the hook.
And you have to wonder, is that trade worth it? Because, yeah, Apels, he gets a kill, he's able to finish his Hextech Gunblade, which is a massive power spike for Kali, but at what cost? Because you get another kill. Oh, wait a minute.
He's gonna go Super Saiyan and he's gonna be trying to fight this, but however, the dunk is gonna be online. He's gonna have to use Ghost just to run away, and the Wither. And now it's not gonna be anything at all. That's gonna be a pull, a slow. Is he gonna try to break his ankles? I don't think so. As far as he's gonna get his ankles cut and smashed. However, in the bot lane, though, they will secure the dragon, giving themselves a 2-dragon advantage with the soul.
Yep, and this time there's no ocean soul to be had, with the first 2 being mountain and cloud soul, respectively. And it looks like the last option is going to be infernal. So right now, if you're 7 men, you're looking like, well, okay, we don't have any dragons yet, but now we have the option to get 4 infernals if the game drags out that long. So, I mean, a Tristana or an Akali with 4 infernal dragons, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, if that ever happens, you're basically saying, yeah, I want to die because we may or may not have 4 Infernos, but that was such a clean dive that they just coordinated, and now Akram's here, but he's not going to be doing a lot, and he's going to have to be forced to give this one up.
Yeah, it was that was a very clean ult by Heal, not necessarily used to secure kills, but it was angled in such a way to where it just zoned them under turret, and they weren't able to get out at all.
Just unfortunate for both Mookstar and the Ascendant. Just they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Just they weren't able to do much, and that's that.
Right, and right now, if you're VGR, you're probably just gonna keep looking to go for either a 1-4 comp or maybe even just a. Well, yeah, ideally you want the 1-4 just because you only have the one teleport on the Darius. So Darius, he can just split for days, and then if for whatever reason his team needs him, he can pop over.
That's the thing though, because as we see now, Microthorn's gonna be taking a fight against top lane Sucks. However, Teamman's gonna be in the area, and Microthorn is gonna be trampled over with the help of the dog.
And I do like this call to keep as much pressure on the Darius as possible. A lot of damage coming out.
That's gonna be Shuriken, but however, it's not gonna be all too much, and now Teamman's gonna be in the area. What? Alpaz actually gonna be falling here. Ignite's gonna be ticking lower and lower. He's gonna be popping the refillables. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be falling this time around, keeping his KDA to 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so it's a good 1-for-1 there. And at this point, any kill that you can get on Alpals is going to be much appreciated, just because Akali, in her own right, I mean, Akali can also hyper carry. Akali can put out so much damage, she can 100 to 0 someone in like 3 seconds, depending on who the target is.
Right. It's just now it's a Teamman. He has the option of basically abusing anyone on their team that really doesn't have high mobility. But then again, you on I believe it's VGR. You have Microthorn on the Darius. You have the Echo with the Chrono Break, and just the rest of the team just does a lot of damage, regardless of who you target. And if you go on the wrong person, you will die instantly, because all of those champions just hurt so much.
Right.
And it seems that they will trade a turret for a Riptail, but however, our Palace is gonna be hurting a little bit at a time. And now, here comes the full-fledged fight. Noise is gonna be unstoppable this time around. And now our Palace is gonna be trying to, like, escape, but it's not gonna be happening at all. And that is gonna be a clean, semi-clean 2-for-1, but they will find 2 turrets in the end for themselves, and maybe another one, if they can play this correctly. And that is so low. Oh my.
Yeah, that was very well played by VGR. Although I do feel like part of it was on 7min themselves, just because they were focusing JD on the Alistair for most of that fight. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, if you take out the Alistair, that's all well and good, but when you lose some of your carries because of it, it just doesn't pay out. And then on top of that...
Oh
no.
my. Teamman, why did you go for it? You're just giving up free kills. My oh my. That's just not worth it at all.
I mean, not just that, but I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, Teeman was only at level 10 there, so with Noise being at 11, he automatically wins the smite trade since he's higher level. He already outsmites it, so it's just like, you might go for the off chance that that Noise accidentally smites early, but I don't know, man. Like, that's rough. And then again, back to that mid fight, they VGR coming in clutch, getting the triple charge from Shelly. Like I said, they're able to get the inhib turret so low. Now, granted, it is an inhib turret, and it is going to slowly regen over time. So the longer they take to get back to it, the longer it'll take to actually take it down.
Right,
So,
yeah. Well, at least we, in this game, you can say it's no longer a Hecarim diff. Instead, it's definitely jungle diff this time around. It's so hard to say that Teeman tried his heart out and dominated in this game.
See, I'm not even sure if it's necessarily a jungle diff. I just feel like there's a little bit of miscommunication here and there just because Hecarim really relies on the early game going well and getting those successful ganks. And when they don't end up being successful, then you lose pressure. It's a big risk to take because like since his ganks early weren't successful, that's when Noise was able to get a level advantage.
Yeah, for sure. Just Teeman, he really needed those jungle ganks early on, and as you saw, it was unsuccessful. And now we see Noise is basically winning any trade that's a 1v1 against Teeman, and maybe possibly a 2v1. And as you can tell, just it's gonna be from this point on, it's gonna be a challenge of whatever if Hecarim can stay relevant in this game instead of how hard can he carry.
Oh no.
Oh boy, that is a nuke and a half.
To quote one of my favorite memes, oh no.
Oh boy. Oh no.
What I was going to say is, while things are looking rough for 7 men, I did like that they were starting to kind of group up and try to just hold pressure off. Good fight starting out here.
That's gonna be Unbreakable and Stone play, but how much will it help? He's gonna be dragging on a little bit further at a time. That's gonna be a pull, but nobody dies here, surprisingly enough, even though the engage started off of Delion.
So again, that's just VGR playing extremely well, and 7 men not. I mean, again, they're just on the Alistair. They're just like, hey, let's try to bring this down because he went in on us. We should be able to, and they're just not be able. They just can't do it. The Alistair is just too tanky right now.
Right, and now we see that Teeman's gonna go hard and gonna be trying to do something, and now they overextended and stay for way too long. El Paso gonna be trying to get something. Drizzle is just gonna be lower and lower. That's gonna be a free triple for them, and they are not respecting them at all.
Yeah, that was definitely a very grievous play by VGR. They went too ham there. I feel like you take the Baron, you back, you buy items, because you just get a chunk full of gold right there.
Yeah, there's no reason to at all. And the Chrono Break comes out, and now this, if they play this really badly, this could be the game. Oh, mighty, oh boy, not gonna happen, they say, and they are gonna be nuking everyone out of their base. And now they are gonna be trying for the Inferno Soul. So, if they get this, Lux is gonna hurt like a truck. Lucian's gonna hurt like a truck. Everyone on VGR's team is gonna hurt so much.
This is true, but here's the issue. If you look at how the previous fight went, I mean, VGR, they had Baron buff, so ideally, they're already doing damage. Wow.
Yeah,
it's even go.
Yeah, but as you saw there, once they got the Infernal buff, it's basically impossible to stay alive for around a couple of seconds, At most, you're gonna live 2 or 3 seconds, even if you are tanky. And they have the Soul, which does extra damage, even though they don't need it.
Right.
And that's gonna be a stun and a half, but he'll slew what? We'll find her 3rd kill. And they really can't do anything to stop this.
Yeah, you gotta respect the Lux roots.
For sure. And now this basically is gonna be kind of game here. And now it's just to see how long can NASA stack before he comes online and start murdering everyone. That is the real question here now for 7 men. But unfortunately, they aren't going to be doing all that much, and unfortunately, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, see, I would have to disagree. I don't think it's game yet. Like, I mean, yeah, right now, VGR, they have Infernal Soul. However, right now, mid lane on both sides, Inhib is down. Both sides have supers. So
Right.
it's... Oh no, this could be a good pick.
This could be very bad. Paulus is gonna be trying something. That's gonna be a lot of healing from Michael Thorne. Oh, he gets the reset. Will he be able to get a second one? No, he will not. It's gonna be... This might as well be the end of Noise as we hear it today. He's gonna be getting 1,000, but however, the nuke from Heal Slew What is gonna be way too much for Paulus.
And herein lies the issue that VGR is starting to run into.
Oh no. They're gonna be gunned down, but how much will it actually help? JD is actually gonna be fighting his second kill of the game, even though he really doesn't need it, and he just barely lives with a quarter of his HP.
Well, I take back what I was going to say then. Because what I was going to say is you have Noxus coming online, and Tristana, she's at IE and Stormrazor. She's at her power spikes. Right now, she could hyper care.
But she's messing with the wrong horns, though. That's the thing. And now this is the price that they are paying, because now we see mains are crashing in to the mid lane, and they are just basically waiting to get this turret and see how long it takes them to try and do something.
And we see the VM here with the emote spams. I'm just like, ooh, that's a yikes from me.
That's toxic one if I ever heard one myself. Oh boy, that's not very sportsmanlike, but you know, whatever you'd like.
Right.
Are winning, and you are allowed to semi-disrespect them.
Right, but as Random Pat pointed out, I believe it was either game 1 or last game, both teams, they do scrim often, so it is probably just all in good fun.
For sure. And that's gonna be so bad for Noise, and possibly getting out another one. That's gonna be a lot of damage coming out from Alpaus, and now there's gonna be a jump on the team. And now Michael Thorne is gonna have to try and do something. That's gonna be possibly a dunk, and that's gonna be a dunk and a half, but it's not gonna be doing all that much. And now Drizzle is gonna be just be backed up by his team, but it's not gonna be doing all that much. And now that's gonna be a little bit of damage, and now this Wither is gonna be coming through, and that's gonna be a headbutt and a half. If he's gonna be trying to do something, then he's gonna be trying to hop out of here. But however, JD is so tanky, and now Drizzle is trying as hard as he can to stay alive. This is gonna be very, very close, and that's gonna be a triple kill for Drizzle, and this could be the game here with the closest, death timer being at 2 seconds.
Yeah, and I feel like top lane sucks. He didn't respect Drizzle, because normally you're Noxus, you pop ult, you're like, yeah, sure, I'll block this Lucian ult, that's fine. There's just one major flaw to that in this case. Right now, Drizzle has Black Cleaver. So, instead of just be like, yeah, I'll tank all this, he got deleted there.
Yeah, you weren't the bull, and you messed with the wrong horns. You let the underlay come through, and Drizzle was just fortunately enough to put the light into his eyes and burn them all.
So, yeah, and right now, you got VGR setting up for that Elder, and I'm not sure that 7 men are going to be able to contest it. I don't even think they know.
Yeah, they don't have any words. It's just this could be a sneaky one, and just noise and microphone. Just they may or may not be able to find it at all. But the rest of the teams of 7 men will come through and find it. Now the real question is if VGR can come through in time, and that's gonna be the Elder for 7 men. So this is gonna be very interesting to say the least because that is a lot of damage, but Tristana is gonna be bursted down, and now there's only 2 people left up alive in Ascendant, and top lane sucks. If it's your time to carry, this must be it. You have the Elder buff, and now you need to kill all of them to keep your entire team alive for this game, as we just see him get annihilated.
Yeah, I don't know why he was trying to back there. I mean, you already know that they're still really fed. You can play safer and back closer to base if need be.
Yeah, that is unfortunately gonna be game here. Just way too much damage and way too much carry potential coming out from VGR. And that's another triple kill coming out from Drizzle. And game 4 will be going over to VGR. And then bringing up the series 2-1 and match point.
Yep. So we'll definitely be seeing game 4. Cargo played by VGR. I'm really shocked at how back and forth that ended up being, because there were times where 7 men, like, they were starting to stack up and just kind of letting Tristana be over on the side and farming up to get to that hyper carry potential. And for a while, VGR, they were just ignoring her. Which, that's what I was going to point out earlier, is that could be their downfall. But then 7 men just kind of had Tristana come back and group back up with everyone, and it just kind of started to fall apart there.
Yeah, just unfortunately, man. We wanted to see the Nasus scale all the way up so he would be able to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, you have the Darius, the Lucian, the Lux just doing so much. And just unfortunately, even with the other buff Steel, they are just way too behind in gold to do enough damage to end this all.
Right. And so now that we've actually seen, so far we've seen Hecarim in every game of the series, but now we've seen him on the losing team. So it really makes you wonder if people are just going to keep letting the Hecarim through, or if they're going to maybe give a respect ban next game or not.
That is the question to be answered in the next pick and ban, if VGR can pull this one off and be a 3-1 series, or if 7 men has something to say if you can or cannot beat us without going to game 5. That is the question to be asked here, as we prepare for the next game. We will see you guys for after the intermission, so stick around, wait for the intermission, and we'll see you guys then.